Should college athletes be paid to play? The answer to that is very simple. That is a definite no. College athletes are already paid. They're paid with scholarships. They're paid with room and board. They're paid with all the clothing that they get for free. They're paid with uh, marketing that they're getting for free from the colleges. They're paid with world class training facilities. They're paid with world class stadiums. We shouldn't pay them any more money. They chose to go to school. No one forced this upon them. Them and their families had signed on the line when they got a scholarship, and they knew what they were getting themselves into when they went to school. If they didn't want to, there are other routes they could have taken. They could have went to Canada and played in the Canada Football League. They could have went to Europe and played in a European Basketball League. They could have went to Japan and played in a Japanese Baseball League and gotten paid right out of high school. But they didn't do that. They chose to go to college. ESPN senior writer Scoop Jackson had an interesting quote. He goes, "Yes, colleges and universities are making money off the backs of the players, off the successes of the major football and men's basketball programs, off the scholarships of these athletes who play them." He goes, "But ask yourself, isn't that what most businesses do every day?" And the answer to that is yes, they do that. Most people don't think of colleges as a business, but it is. They're there to make money. My boss makes a lot of money. He doesn't pay me the same as he gets, and it's the same with these colleges. They shouldn't pay the athletes any more money. They're already paying them in these scholarships and all these other perks that they get. The money that the colleges make doesn't go into the dean's pocket. It goes into building the world-class training facilities. It goes into building 108,000 seat stadiums. It goes into the marketing department that Ohio State has to promote their athletes, to get them the Heisman Trophy, to make them excel and go on to the next level. That doesn't come cheap. It pays for the coaching staff. It pays for the staff of the school, all their professors. This money goes all around the school, and it just doesn't make the college pockets fat. John Thean of Time Money had a very good statistic. He goes, say we pay these players $1,000 per or $100,000 a year. Most Division I universities, an in-state tuition, say like a Stanford, Notre Dame, Duke, starts out at $65,000 a year. So that's $45,000 in tuition, $20,000 room and board. So let's say we give a college football player $100,000 a year. That's what we're going to pay him. So now that they're paying him, let's take out federal taxes of $23,800. Let's take out $6,700 in state taxes. Let's take out $2,400 for city taxes. Let's take out another $2,000 for Social Security, Medicaid. After all the taxes taken out of his $100,000 that we're now paying him, he's got $65,100 to pay for his room and board and his tuition. So after he pays $65,000 room and board and tuition, he's left with $100 in his pocket. Math is simple. That $100 isn't going to get him anywhere. And then would paying these athletes give unfair recruiting advantages to states like Florida that don't have state income taxes, or to a city that doesn't have city taxes? These kids would get an unfair advantage. Some of these schools. Athletes I think, are paid well enough. Some of these top tier schools, like I mentioned before, Duke, Notre Dame, North Carolina, 65,000 plus a year just to go. That's in state. That's not including if it's an out of state, somebody from out of state tuition. The undefeated Jesse Williams has a great quote. He goes, "The intangibles value of a higher education is worth more than pizza or gas money." And that is true. The education these kids are going to get from these colleges will go with them for a lifetime after their playing careers. A resume that has graduated from the University of North Carolina is going to get your foot in the door a lot faster than not having an education from North Carolina. And, it would take away from the amateur status. If we pay them, their amateur status would go away. It would be just another professional sport. And that's what we have the NFL, the NHL, the NBA for. Those kids are there trying to strive to get to that next level. We shouldn't give them that next level right then and there. So, in closing, they're getting paid a lot of money as it is with all of the scholarships, all of the room and board, everything that they've got. If somebody offered me that, I would take it in a minute, not to have to pay to school, not to have to pay room and tuition. That would be an amazing opportunity, and I don't think that these athletes should have to be paid at all.